Hello, welcome to today's messages. I'm glad you are here. Let's tune in to 432 hertz of earth resonance. Yes. Tap in, tune in, turn on your connection, your receiving mode. Yes. To receive messages, one must be in a receiving mode. All right. Well, let's tap in to the energies of the Arcturians and see where they want us to look, to give our focus, our attention to. As we excavate our messages for today. And yes, use your intuition. I find when I watch the video back, I'm seeing other things. I'm filling in holes, and other words and concepts and ideas come about. So this is also a collaboration, right? Sometimes it's about what I don't say that your brain thinks that the message is, So let's see what card is for us today. There's the hair. Dang it. My hypersensitivities. Emerging. Okay. This is a long process of emerging we are going through. Because it's not about just popping out and being like, all right, let's roll, right? We are releasing and flexing and alchemizing and processing and decluttering and integrating. There's a lot that happens during the emerging stage. So, what else? What else from the runes? What is emerging? Who is emerging? How is emerging? Oh, I see. Joy is emerging. And if you missed that, that was joy. Okay? Wunjo. Wunjo. The joyful hummingbird. The hummingbird is joyful as he dances in between the flowers. His happy energy and satisfaction and harmony with life brings his wishes into being. Now, that passage was highlighted in my brain, okay? So let's read it again. Happy energy and satisfaction and harmony with life brings wishes into being. Yes. Okay, pause for drama. He dances his dance, surrounded by the jewel-like flashes of his family and friends. Wunjo, with its ecstatic energy, is a most welcome rune in a reading. It has a certain bittersweetness as the final rune of the first et, bringing the whisper of change or a shift, like the first days of a sunset after a perfect day. When this delightful rune pops up, you can expect joy, fellowship, and harmony, a symbol of well-being. It brings love, prosperity, and fulfillment. Okay? Yes, yes, and yes. Don't stand there, birdies. They're crazy. Don't they know there's a vicious hunter? Gets me nervous. They sit on the fence, but that's one of Mims's hunting postures. She stalks at the bottom and then jumps up and grabs them, and there's like 2 of them up there right now. Okay. So, keywords: joy, pleasure, belonging, kindreds, and prosperity. Yes, yes, and yes. We'll take it all. We are merging into beings capable of feeling, holding, and experiencing these things. Joyful moments and prosperity and harmony, right? Harmonious relationships are exactly like 2 instruments playing together and bouncing off one another and complementing each other in a beautiful way, right? And we've all had those relationships or those interactions with people where it's not harmony and it's blatant, right? You're like, oh, discordance is here and I'm going over there, right? And oh, there she is. Speak of the hunter. She's so freaking cute. How something so cute can also be so vicious. This is integration of shadow, right? This is our capability, our wholeness of being. We are both the birther and the destroyer, right? We can create things and we can destroy things. I learn so much from cats. Little spiritual entities. She just looked right at me. She's like, you talking about me? Yes, yes I am. Okay. Let's do it. Let's fall in love with the idea of being harmonious, with being joyful, with being prosperous. Okay, let's see what comes up for us today. These cards we hold already been chosen by our higher selves, and we are just playing it out, seeing what happens, anticipating the reveal, right? We start with your divine spirit team cheering you on, your divine spirit team standing behind you, being like, yay, you're doing it, you're going the right way. You're tapped into the right frequency. You're holding the right vibration. You're singing our song. Beautiful. I'm also in this emerging card, we've got the 3 here, right? Which is giving me this here. So beautiful synchronicity about that. I feel this connection with your spirit team, with the divine, right? this is where they're at. They're on the frequency of joy, of love. They're on the love frequency. This is why everything in spirituality and enlightenment is about raising your frequency. It's about maintaining moments of joyful bliss and harmony, because that's the frequency that your ancestors, that your guides, your higher self resonate at. It's interesting, my dream last night, speaking of elevating, and I still can't figure it out. So if you pick something up, let me know in the comments. But I was in a shower and it was kind of really too small to move around, right? And just trying to wash your hair, there's like, it was very, and I noticed there was space, like the shower only went like this high, and then there was space up there. So I pulled myself up, and there was a freaking hot tub up there, like a bathtub. And I think the water of the shower was also cold, like not cold, but like not warm either. And so it was a welcome alternative. And so I jumped into this hot tub, well, like a fresh water tub, and was able, like, I was up above, and so I was able to see things better. It was really weird, but I think this is it was like kind of like a sign of elevating, right? From moving from a tepid, cramped shower situation into a more comfortable, warm, soaking situation. So I don't know what that means. But write down your dreams. If you're having like weird dreams, even if they're just like flat, where you're like, I don't know, still write it down, because later on, right, signs and synchronicities might add up and then start to validate or support that vision into a breakdown of its, like, to decipher. Okay. Yeah, you might receive, what is it when is it like the codex? The little sheet that you get that helps you crack codes? What is that called? Anyways, okay. We got the Page of Wands. Look at this stuff happening behind the scenes. And your faith in it, your trust in it, your knowing, holding your knowing, regardless of what is currently visible, right? We can't pull in new things when we're focused on things that already are, right? It's like those annoying conversations with people where it's like, why can't it be like this, right? And I'm always trying to think about the way things should be. And I don't know if you've had those conversations with people where they just are like, well, that's not how it is, right? And it's like, but why do we have to talk about how things are? Why can't we ruminate about the things, how things should be, could be, right? Okay. Because we're not supposed to know. Okay, so there's a lot of unknowns happening here. And this is kind of, we've got this unknown. And I feel like part of this emerging is getting really good at accepting not knowing. This is a time to move into the unknown. This is a time to trust, is it implicitly, in your own ability to flow. So much so that you don't need to know every next move. When you're in a flow state, you're not thinking, you're not planning, you're just in execution mode. You're just doing it, right? You're just going with it and discovering as you go, right? It's like witnessing your hand paint a picture, and you haven't made any restraints on this image. You haven't said, okay, I am going to paint a picture of such and such. You just decided to cover this canvas with paint. And so you start moving towards that. You make sure that the canvas is up, you make sure that paints are available, all the colors you could possibly need. You make sure that you have all your tools available, so because you never know which ones you're going to want to do. And then you're showing up, right? You're stepping up and being like, okay, I'm here. Let's do this. And then you are surrendering and allowing. And right, paintbrush. Oh, Bob. This is Bob Ross, if you don't know. Okay, look him up. He's amazing. And his big message is also to go with the flow, right? There are no mistakes. What's his thing? If it seems like a little mistake, well, then you just turn it into a happy little bush or a happy tree or a branch or whatever, right? It's all about flowing with the things that are happening. So anyways, you show up, you arrive, and then you become a witness. Your hand is like, oh, it's reaching for this tool. Okay. Oh, it's dipping in this paint. Okay. Okay. Oh, now we're just going to do this. All right. All right. Okay. Now what? We need some more paint. Oh, we're going for a different color now, right? And you become an active witness to your own unfolding, to the unfolding of your potential, your capability, your possibility. And then before you know it, you're stepping back going, whoa, what just happened? Right. And now you're like, okay, oh, I'm feeling this. This is what that discovery that unfolds. This is another level of your expansion, right? Especially as you become more of a conscious creator and collaborator with the universe. This is another way of discovering yourself. Yes, something like that. Something like that. It's so dark. It got really dark here. Got so dark, but we are shining bright like diamonds either way. Okay, so these two showed up. So the Six of Wands. So, here you are, the top of this peak, okay? And you've got all these other arms that are reaching. They're all trying to get some sunshine juice, right? Especially in the dark times of the winter. And here you are, you've reached a elevation point, and you have integrated your shadow, right? You have this moon tool that you are using to hook into, to unite with, to plug into sun power, into the source of the sun. And this is speaking about that balance, that integration, what we were talking about with Mims, with her light and her shadow in one being, right? And there's something about this supercharging you. The Knight of Wands is passion, okay? And we've got this, the Knight is leaping forth. It's like as soon as you plug in, zoo, you're going to take off here. and moving on your passion, right? The Knight of Wands is the passionate knight. Look at all the red in the background, and the size of this moon. It's your intuition that is propelling you when you tap in, and a direction inspires you, makes you light up, like starts your flame or whatever. Those are the things that you move towards, that you leap for, that you head into, right? It's like when you're about to paint, you're not like, I guess I have to do this, give me a tool, slap some paint on there, although sometimes that's a way to start, right? But you're looking at the colors, and a color is just a little bit brighter for you, right? And you're like, that's the color that you start with. These are all the subtle little intuitive that way that we have to be open to. Well, we don't have to. I mean, we all have our own free will. You cannot anytime you want. Okay. Okay, there's the transformation card. Okay, this is the death of the old so that the new can be born. Maybe it's burning away the old. The residuals, right? I'm getting dragon fire, and also violet flame, where it cleanses and clears you of any stuck things. It's also the soil, the fertile soil that the new grows from, that the new springs out of, right? It's like the remnants of the old. I'm thinking like compost, right? And how your compostables eventually turn into soil. So the things that you release, the things that you let go of, your transformed alternative versions of self that you let go of, these are all compostables that are creating a fertile soil that your new version of self springs forth from, right? Just like the phoenix from the flames, it's born from the ashes of the old. Okay. And also your ability to continually release. This isn't a thing that we just do once. This is we're in a cyclical world, and so getting good at this process here. Okay, and the Two of Swords landed on this transformation, and this is exactly it. You can choose to stay in the old ways or choose to move, but I feel like because of this expansion, because of this elevation that is happening globally, universally, we are all everything is, the frequencies are rising. And so the ones who are going to have the most difficulty in this process are the ones that are being elevated unconsciously by proximity from those who are consciously elevating, right? Because it's a group elevation. That's why you have pioneers and forerunners who started, right? And then it starts to magnetize and pull in others, and then we're all, right? But when you're unconsciously and you're holding on and not recognizing, ooh, that's an old thing that's trying to fall away. Instead, we're like, wait, hold on to it, get back to it. Well, now we're going to feel that tug and rip, right? And so this is the equivalent of trying to swim upstream. We're all heading downstream to the ocean, right? Down the river to the ocean. The rivers are flowing in one direction, right? And to swim up it, look at just the physical exertion that is needed to swim up a river, right? And you're also not, you don't have your eyes on where you're headed. And so you're not seeing things that are coming up, like a boulder in the center of the river, right? And because you are, and it's to the point of exhaustion, because you're never you're never gonna go back all the way up the river, although I guess salmon do somehow. But what do they do when they get to the top? They don't even get to the top. They just get to a point and then they die, right? So this getting good at the release part is to turn around and to reallocate that energy that you were using to try and go up the river, to be present and to see that boulder coming towards you and just shift your weight. And now you're in a fun little whoop de boop de boop boop, going by it, going around it. And this is way more joyful, right? But it's about free will. Everything, this world, that's our thing. That's our thing, right? Free will. So this is something you choose to a certain degree, right? There are some universal things that we can't deny, right? Like the birthing and the deathing, but as part of the cycle, right? But I mean, and then there's the argument that we create our own soul, our higher soul, our oversoul, before we incarnate into this world. We choose with our free will when we are born and die and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, maybe the free will thing goes beyond our capacity, but we're just gonna deal with the earth realm here, right? Where we are existing in a cyclical realm. And so we can choose to enjoy the ride. The ride is happening. That's what I meant to say. The ride is happening, whether you want it or not. And so your choice is how you engage in the ride. Are you going to struggle against it to exhaustion and smack into things that you can't see coming because you're looking the other way? Mouthfuls of water, right? And that's your experience. And you're looking, somebody's passing you like, hey, just turn around, enjoy the ride, right? And you're like, no, life is supposed to be hard. It's like, okay, see you at the bottom. Great. Okay. We got it. Okay. Oops. What's this guy? There's your independence. Okay. This is kind of what it looks like when you choose you and to flow, right? This is tending of your personal garden, right? Your space, your home space, your sanctuary space, your living space, your garden, tending your personal garden and all of the beautiful things that you plant in there and the tending that goes into this, right? So this is the equivalent of turning down the river and floating. And now you have all this extra energy that you're no longer using trying to struggle against the river, and you're putting that into your garden, you're putting it into your self-care, you're putting it into your home space, right? And beautiful things are blooming because of it. And you now have created a sanctuary space that you can go to recharge, to power up, to tap in, to connect. And this is an important part. This is kind of what you are meant to, this is someone who you are emerging into, right? Is independent, and regulated. I feel like the space is also like, well, a sanctuary space, a safe space, right? A place where you can go and feel safe. Yes, a safe space where you can feel safe. Okay. And beautiful, beautiful to come out, because the more that you can nurture this space, the more likely it'll grow into this. We've got a 9 turning into a 10. A 9 is the end, like the finishing up, right? Of like, you're almost there. It's the, and then this is, you've made it. You got there, right? So I feel like this is the emergence, right? You are emerging. You emerge into your legacy, into your abundance, once you have mastered your regulation, your regulating of self, right? Your self dependence, independence, your homeostasis, I want to call it. Okay. We've got this coming out, okay, the Emperor and work. And the Emperor, and they're facing each other here. We've got you becoming solid in your pentacles, okay, through your work. And yeah, I mean, 8, 9, 10 of Pentacles, and we started with 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is something to do with your work and you becoming a master, right? The Emperor is the get her done guy, and he is very powerful. Let me just get my cheat sheet here. Where is it? Where's my cheat sheet? Not there. Okay, never mind. The Emperor is everything, guy. In my little bookie book here. Perhaps the father figure, but divine masculine. So action. Oh, it's raining. Authority, making all the decisions, right? Someone who is definitely in their free will or owning. Structure, leadership, strong and stable, decisive, disciplined, self-control, and strategic. Okay. So also look at the work, right? This is this attention to all of the details, passion project. So I'm getting an opportunity with your work having great success, okay? But what you are doing is you are tending your garden. so that when these seeds arrive, that you are drawing in towards you because of this frequency of harmony that you are nurturing in your garden. Seeds are coming towards you, drawn towards you, just like when you create a beautiful garden and it draws in all the birds, right? And these seeds of opportunity are more likely to take root because you've done the work to receive them and got a beautiful, created the space to plant them in. Yes? Yes. Okay. Let's get an archetype card. Oh, two of them flipped. Beautiful. The king and the shadow. Wow. Talk about choice here. Okay. What do we got? The king. Look at this. The sun. This is divine masculine energy. He's got it's like a seal, like one of those wax seals, right? And they got the ring and they stamp it in there, and then you know it comes from the king. Okay, 12. The king, the ruler, the commander, the emperor. Wow, confirmation. Okay, if our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the king presides over it all. Through the lens of the king, we assess the state of our land, make decisions, and rule accordingly. Therefore, the king must be thoroughly and regularly vetted so as to avoid corruption. Beautiful. Yeah, they do. Because tyranny. Okay. Where are we? Recognize the dual nature of the king. He is either seated in benevolence and strength, guiding you towards peace, or he is oppressing the weak out of need to control. There is not much middle ground. Oh, this is beautiful because we got the shadow coming up next, right? And that's it. That's the light and the shadow play, right? Benevolence or tyranny. There is not much middle ground. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego. Yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility, knowing the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. Ooh, and we've got a peace sign and a dollar sign. I'm not going to show you because it's blurry. Okay. When light, benevolence, divine leadership, service, and nobility. When dark, oppression, misuse of power, and corruption. The king is necessary. He is a bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. It is also said that it is necessary for the king to die. This is a death of ego. Ooh, we do have this transformation here. So it's also this recognition and this utilizing your free will to rule, to uplift, or rule to conquer. Once the king's relationship to divinity is broken or challenged, he often acts from a place of fear, scrambling to uphold his image and power. Okay, King. And then the shadow, which is 28. The unspeakable, the unwelcome, the denied. Although every card in the archetype deck has a shadow potential, this card asks us to delve into the qualities of the shadow itself. We often think that the shadow can be purified, illuminated, and made right through effort and achievement. However, it is typically the case that our lofty pursuit of ascension and perfection is the very source of shadow material itself. By rejecting parts of ourselves and the world, we begin to separate from the whole rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadow. We busy ourselves with avoiding its presence. Yes, this is denial. When this card appears, it is time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with, no, anything but that, you are touching shadow. Find support for this deep inner work and move towards the shadow with patience and compassion. Beautiful. And also a confirmation that, messages within messages, right? We had Mims showing up and she pulled forth the message of shadow integration, right? The cat being a perfect example of the cutest, sweetest, fluffiest thing, also being the most vicious and violent and, extreme murderer. Okay. When light, revealing unconscious aspects of the self and world. When dark, denying unconscious aspects of the self and the world. In the shadow of the gods are the very gods themselves. Reflect on the statement by James Hillman in A Blue Fire. What do you despise about yourself? By answering, you move towards shadow. And also, shadow is also reflected in others, right? So when you're annoyed with somebody else, when they're doing something that's like irritating you, or this is the universe mirroring back your shadow aspects of self that are unconscious, that are unintegrated, right? One of my ones that are just coming up is I was noticing that people weren't acknowledging me. And so I started to look at how I was acknowledging people. And it turns out I wasn't acknowledging people either, right? And so there's that direct reflection. And then so I started making a point to acknowledge people. And then, people started acknowledging me more. And there you go. Okay, just an example. Contemplate the following scientific observation. The closer an object, a person, place, or community is to the light, the longer the shadow it casts. Our shadows taller than our souls. There walks a lady we all know. What song is that? Led Zeppelin? Stairway to Heaven. Maybe. Maybe that's the song. Okay. I think let's hit up a power card. Oh, 4414. Okay, all of the cards. Okay, let's just do love messages. I don't want to take up all your time. I mean, totally do the speed check. Get the messages, but quicker. Okay. Look at this. Talking about tending your garden here. More self-care needed, time to rest, okay? So there's your message. There's a message for you. Okay, and also with the shadow and everything and this self-observation and the will with the emperor and the work card here, as well as this transforming, this death of the old, right? This is a good opportunity for you while you are resting and caring, while you are tending to yourself. This is also that, finding the dead moldy plant that's in the corner that you've been trying to keep alive, right? It's time to let that go. It's time to dig it up. It's time to, and now you have a new pot, or new to you, no, um, a space open that something new can be planted into and be beautiful. Okay. Okay. Let's get some charms. Let's get some charms. We've got celebrate. Okay, celebrate. I mean, that's what it came down to. This is the joy. We're trying to find the joy, right? And this is the thing, when you're trying to dominate others, when you're trying to control others, when you're trying to control all the situation, while you're struggling up against that river, there's no time for joy. There's no time for happy. You're just trying to stay alive. You're just trying to make, you're tired, your arms are exhausted, you're gulping mouthfuls of water, right? Turn around, float, and then you have time to sip on your beverage of choice. Okay? Celebrate. We've got the luck of the Irish. We've got the 4-leaf clover coming in. Okay? You create your own luck. You are creating opportunities for luck to grow, to bloom, because of this tending and this fertilizing and nurturing of your soil, and creating space for things to grow and bloom. Okay, this is what fuels your luck. This is where you happen to turn down the wrong street and see a plant sale, and you're like, oh my goodness, look at all these plants. I got all this space in my garden now. Yay, right? Lucky. Okay. And this joyful beast, okay, the dolphin, it is the hummingbird of the sea. Okay, it's joyful, it's beautiful. This is what you're meant to do, to play. Find play in your day, right? Be ridiculous, run across the street, and be like, to somebody who stops for you, like they were about to hit you, and then laugh, and they're like, what? You're crazy. And you're like, ha ha ha. Right? I don't know. Just find little moments where you can have fun and do it. Do it. Okay. Yes. Okay. There's the messages for today. I hope that there were some good stuff for you, that inspire you, that empower you, that remind you, that does something for you. Okay, reflects something back at you, whatever. We're all here for different reasons. And whatever they are, I hope they move you closer to the you that you are, which is a golden heart of love. Okay, there you go. Love you, appreciate you. Hope to see you next time. Bye for now.